I'll never forget that Saturday. The plan was simple. My girlfriend, Emily, and I were supposed to grab lunch at our favorite spot downtown. We'd been together for nearly 2 years, and though every couple has their ups and downs, I thought we were steady. I thought we were strong. I got to the restaurant early, as I usually did. I'm the kind of guy who likes being punctual, maybe even a little too punctual. So I grabbed a table by the window, ordered a drink, and waited. 15 minutes passed. Then 20. I figured maybe traffic had her caught up, or she had lost track of time. It wasn't unusual. I was about to call her when my phone buzzed. It was a text from Emily. My heart skipped for a second, expecting something like, "Running late, be there soon." But instead, the message froze me in place. "Having lunch with Jacob," smiling face with smiling eyes, "I'll call you later." At first, I thought it had to be a mistake. Maybe she meant to send it to a friend. Maybe she hit the wrong name on her contacts list. I stared at the screen, waiting for a second message, an apology, an explanation, something. But nothing came. The waitress came by and asked if I was ready to order. I mumbled something about waiting for someone, but inside I was spiraling. Who was Jacob? Why was she having lunch with him? And why would she text me that so casually, as if I wouldn't notice, as if I wouldn't care? I sat there for another half hour, my drink sweating on the table, my mind running in circles. Every detail of our relationship suddenly felt like a puzzle piece I had been forcing into the wrong picture. The late-night study sessions, the sudden new perfume, the time she seemed distant when I asked about her day. It all started to line up, and the image it formed wasn't pretty. Finally, I stood up, tossed some cash on the table, and walked out. The air outside felt heavier than inside. It wasn't just about her having lunch with another guy. It was the way she had told me, like I was an afterthought, like I was invisible. That text message wasn't just a slip of the thumb. It was a revelation. And deep down, I knew my life was about to change. When I got home that evening, Emily was already there, sitting cross-legged on the couch with her laptop open, like nothing had happened. She looked up at me and smiled faintly, but I could see the flicker of guilt in her eyes. "You're home early," she said, almost casually, like she hadn't just sent me the most cutting text I'd ever received. I dropped my keys on the counter and stared at her. "Emily, who's Jacob?" Her face froze for a fraction of a second before she recovered. "Oh, he's just a friend from work. We went out for a quick bite, that's all." "A quick bite?" I asked, my voice low. "You were supposed to be meeting me for lunch. Instead, you text me, your boyfriend, that you're having lunch with another guy. Do you have any idea how that feels?" She closed her laptop and crossed her arms. "You're overreacting, Daniel. It was just lunch. I didn't think it was a big deal." Not a big deal. Those words hit harder than the text itself. The woman I had trusted with my time, my love, my loyalty, sitting there telling me that replacing me at lunch with some other man wasn't a big deal. I shook my head slowly. "Emily, I'm not stupid. The way you said it, the emoji, the tone. You don't text your boyfriend like that if it's innocent." Her voice sharpened, defensive now. "So what? You don't trust me? Is that it?" I felt something inside me snap. For months, I had been brushing aside little signs, her late nights, her evasive answers, the way she seemed more attached to her phone than to me. And now here she was, flipping the script, making me out to be the unreasonable one. "Trust," I said, quietly. "Trust goes both ways, Emily. You don't keep secrets, you don't lie, and you don't casually throw away the person waiting for you just so you can spend time with another man." She rolled her eyes, muttering something under her breath. But I caught it. "Jacob actually listens to me." That sentence was the final crack in the dam. My chest tightened, and for a moment I couldn't even breathe. It wasn't about lunch anymore. It wasn't about one careless text. It was about her telling me, with those 5 words, that I wasn't enough for her anymore. And standing there in that apartment, I realized something terrifying and liberating at the same time. Maybe she didn't want me. Maybe she wanted him. Silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. Emily avoided my eyes, scrolling on her phone like our conversation was nothing more than background noise. That's when I knew. We weren't partners anymore. We were just two strangers occupying the same space. I sat down across from her, my voice calm but steady. You know, I used to think we were building something real. I thought every sacrifice, every compromise was for us. But now I see it wasn't about us at all. It was about convenience. And when someone else came along, someone shinier, you didn't even hesitate. Emily finally looked up, her expression tight. Daniel, don't make this dramatic. It's not like that. Jacob and I, we just connect differently. You wouldn't understand. I laughed. Not the kind of laugh that comes from amusement, but the bitter kind that comes when the truth is too sharp to swallow. You're right. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can look at someone who's been nothing but loyal to you and still treat him like a placeholder until something better shows up. Her lips parted, as if she wanted to defend herself, but no words came out. For the first time that night, she looked uncertain, vulnerable, but it was too late. I stood up, went to bedroom, and began pulling clothes from the closet. Emily followed me, her voice rising. Wait, what are you doing? What I should have done the second you sent me that text, I said without looking at her. I'm leaving. Her tone shifted from defensive to panicked. Daniel, come on. You're blowing this out of proportion. It was just lunch. I love you. I turned, meeting her eyes for what felt like the last time. No, Emily, you love the idea of me. The guy who always waited, who always forgave, who always believed your excuses. But that guy doesn't exist anymore. You killed him the moment you told me Jacob actually listens to you. Her face crumbled, but I felt nothing but clarity. I zipped my bag, grabbed my jacket, and headed for the door. Every step felt lighter, like chains falling away. When I stepped into the night, I realized something important. Losing Emily wasn't a tragedy, it was freedom. Because sometimes the cruelest text, the harshest betrayal, is also the clearest wake-up call. And from that moment on, I promised myself I would never again wait for someone who was already eating lunch with Jacob.